Hi, you guys. Welcome to a new episode of Too Much with Shey
and Becca. Hi, guys. Welcome back. I'm sorry if my voice sounds terrible, but we'll get into why it might sound a little bad.
Yes, if you are new here, welcome. We appreciate you. We hope you guys stay. We have a lot of fun topics to talk about. If you are a reoccurring subscriber, thank you so much for your support. Please do make sure that you engage with us. We talk about a lot of things, aka that's why our podcast is named Too Much. So make sure you comment down below, whatever floats your boat. I know some people are not big sports people or news, whatever, but we have a variety. So that's why you guys gotta stick with us,
We
okay?
got a section for everything from news to
Right.
social corner, sports corner. Sometimes you just want to hear us giggle and tiggle, and you got the wine down for that.
Right. So if you want, I mean, I think you should watch the entire episode, but you could just, go through fast forward and find what floats your boat.
Yes. But as always, like we mentioned, let us get into our weekly rundown. What's happening? Shayla, do you want to go first? Because I don't really got much to say.
My week has been good, other than the fact that, again, I feel like I say this every episode. It has been raining every single day. And I'm just like, thank you for the rain, God. I know, it's needed. But girl, let's wrap it up. The weather has been so crazy. We are a week and a half until like June for summertime, and it feels like we're actually going backwards to the winter. I saw a TikTok that was like, why I woke up today thinking it was time to put the Christmas tree up. Cause girl, what happened? Are we going to June or to December? I don't know. The sweaters have to be, if you had them tucked in thinking someone was on the way, girl, the sweaters gotta come back out.
I mean, personally, you know me, as someone who likes to be cold, I'm not bothered. Like to me,
I
I walk outside, everybody wearing a coat, and I'm like, oh, this nice. This is breezy.
I am not a cold weather type of girl. I am give me summer. And I feel like we deserve it. Like it's supposed to be June almost. But anyways, other than that, that's really it. The weather has been my main concern this week.
Yeah, I would say for me, it's just I think for me what it is like after coming back from Puerto Rico, I just feel like I'm trying to
Mhm.
get back into my routine. Like I just feel like I've been on like go so much that I haven't even been able to like focus my mind and settle back into doing like my routine, like going to the grocery store on this day, cooking on this day, doing this, doing that. So I'm just trying to get myself like back into my routine because I
But
just
the
feel like
thing is, also, Rebecca likes to be packed to the brim. Like she will be like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I need some rest," while also booking more things for her in her life. So it's just like at some point, I just listen to her and I'm like, I should understand your concern, but also she likes to be on go all the
okay,
time.
y'all, this is what it is. Shayla will tell you we are hustling working women. If
Understood.
the opportunity for me to work and get closer to my ultimate goal pops up, why would I not say yes? It's like, you know, the phrase I always tell you, Shayla, I'd be like, I sleep when I'm dead. But it's like, that does not mean that I don't feel tired right now.
I understand that, but this is like Rebecca and I always go, I don't want to say back and forth because like we both are hustlers. We enjoy working, we get after it, whatever needs to be done, we're going to do it. But at some point, you need to listen to your body and understand that if your body is asking you for rest, you need to rest because if not, things can get worse and then you're going to have no choice but to take a break because your body is going to shut down. So all I ask for Rebecca is healthy medium because now I'm unemployed, but I understand like when work has to happen, you got to go.
Right.
But sometimes you got to hit pause on your own life for the betterment of your future and to reach the career and all the goals and all the things because as we have seen and that's like the first topic that we're going to start off this episode talking, life is fragile. You know what I mean? Like if your health is not right, nothing else matters.
Very true, very true. And I will say to that, like, I'm trying to get better. I'm starting to say no more. But sometimes,
When?
girl, I've been saying no. It's just that
Okay.
it's like if you see me busy now, if I had said yes to the other things, you would have saw me busier. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But we also do want to mention Shayla and I went to go see Beyonce yesterday, y'all. Beyonce,
Yes.
you did your big one. This was my first time. This was Shayla's second time. She had never
Mhm.
seen her in Miami.
The
And
Renaissance tour.
girl, when I tell you, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I knew it was going to be like a performance, but I
Mhm.
did not know what to expect. Like, I looked at Shayla at one point and I was like, oh, the budget was non existent. Like,
Yeah.
the budget was like, boom, boom, boom. Like, I'm going to pay for it. Just do it. Like, everything was 10 out of 10. I recommend it. If you are not a Beyonce fan, I mean, that's your own particular taste and flavor. But what I will say is, like, if you like a performance, someone who's never going to like, it's never a dull moment, I
Mhm.
definitely recommend going to see her in concert. And I also want to say this last point. Y'all infuriate me. MetLife is in Rutherford, New Jersey. It is not New York. I'm tired of hearing I love New York. I'm tired of hearing MetLife, New York. Welcome to New York. Beyonce, I love you down. But when you opened up and you said, what's up, New York? Whoo, I was tight.
And it's so many thoughts on that. Number one, I went with Rebecca to her first concert, right? I think we went together to your first
It
concert. It
was
was Nikki.
Nicki Minaj.
And after we went to concerts, you were talking to your friends, what you rated, how was it? And I told Rebecca at that moment, I was like, I feel like because I have seen Beyonce, I can never judge anyone's concert fairly because the bar she sets, it's so high that unless you got money like that, you could have all these wonderful production dreams, but maybe you need big money to be able to actually bring it to life. So Beyonce is one of one, that girl, and
Right.
she always delivers. I feel like even if you don't like her music from a production standpoint, girl, she was on Cars. She was on this little horseshoe. She gives even like the intermissions. Some artists, it just be black screen, no nothing, like what's happening. Production from start to end. It was amazing. Mind you, in this tour, she didn't bring anyone out in terms of like other celebrities. The whole time it was her performing. Yes, she does have, dancers and things like that, but a lot of other artists bring other people on tour to kind of
Mhm.
help, let the lift on them, you little break. My girl is on to the next, and
Her
she is
vocals,
performing. The mic is on, she is dancing, the outfit changes, everything is top notch. And the only artist, I mean, I haven't seen every artist in the world, but for her, you do spend a lot of money to get there. But I feel like once you leave, you feel like you get your money's worth. Some artists, the mic deaf don't be on, it be giving karaoke, and that is annoying because, girl, if I drop this big bag, we know the concert bags now are not light. I'm
okay.
expecting a performance, at least the mic being on, not a karaoke session. But
Right.
now to the Jersey New York battle. This is why I go so hard for Jersey. So she had New York exclusive merch. And I wanted to get it because, it's exclusive to this concert. But I feel like it should have said New Jersey because
Right.
it is happening in New Jersey. And a lot of New Yorkers are like, oh, well, that the reason why she's having it here is for New York, like for New York people to come. And it's like, then I need y'all to have the concert in New York. If everything is about New York, New York, New York, then go have it there. Y'all don't got a stadium. If you don't have a stadium, build the stadium.
It's because I think, and I was thinking about this, I think it's because Madison Square Garden is like real occupied right now for the playoffs. So they want to add that to the workload and stuff like that. But still, the point is the point. It's Jersey, not New York. And I will say Shayla's gonna bring this point up, but we could have rescheduled that concert for another day. It was pouring rain the whole day.
Listen to me. Rain on rain. MetLife Stadium, as I think all stadiums, I had to Google it on the way there. I'm like, why don't stadiums have roofs? Like, who created that a thing? And so, according to Google, it's really just it's not that people not trying to pay for it, and also it's part of the aesthetic. Like when you go to a stadium, you want to feel like you're outside. It's part of the vibe. honey, we need to invest in portable roofs for stadiums. No tea, no shade, because I was so upset. It was my first time trying on a poncho. I've never worn a poncho ever in my life. I didn't think that it would work. And if you're thinking, well, why didn't you just bring an umbrella? You cannot bring an umbrella, at least to MetLife Stadium. Maybe other stadiums are different. So I don't like being cold. No one likes to be sitting in sogginess. So it was just like we had to go make a line for the merch. That line took a good hour and a half. Mind you, I had my boots on. Boots were on the ground with my heels. It was raining. I'm
I
a
had
lot.
on Crocs. My socks was getting wet. It was just a lot. And then, like, thankfully, I want to say, like, first off, also, there's a lot of times like these artists, they be late as life.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce started at 8:03 on the dot. Like, mind you, the concert was supposed to start at 8. But
Yeah.
she started at 8:03. I don't even care. I was so surprised. Like, me and Shayla were like, no, ain't no way she coming out already.
Yeah.
I was stunned. And she lasted, I want to say, like 2 hours and like 30 plus minutes. So we didn't leave
Fire.
till like 10:45. And I was still like, man, she could have went more. And I mean, I'm being ungrateful, but I was like, she could have did one more song for me. Like,
Yeah. She
but
ate down.
no, she did. And to your point about the roof, like Akon brought lights to Africa. Beyonce can bring roofs to stadiums. Come on.
And not just Beyonce specific. Like, I think we need to start thinking about putting roofs on stadiums. Like, why can't we just have not the portable ones, like automatic on and off for stadiums?
Right.
Please.
Get a poncho for the stadium.
Hello? Anyways, if you are thinking about going to see Beyonce, I think you will not regret it if you do. And it is expensive. So what I suggest when I saw her for the Renaissance tours in Miami, wait till the last minute, like get ready, be on your way to MetLife or wherever the stadium is, and get last minute tickets because those tickets will drop in price and
Right.
you won't regret it.
But I think luckily for us, I think like our tickets were not that expensive, like compared to what other people were paying.
Mhm.
And like where we got our seats, if you do go to MetLife, I recommend sitting in the 200 section because they had a club little section. Me and Shayla and
Yeah.
we was like, oh, this is nice.
It was. They had like their own little food places. It was less crowded. We was nice and
You
warm. It
could
was
sit
cute.
on the
I didn't even know we was
inside.
in a club but
Right.
this wasn't like the floor seats club. But anyways, we're spending a lot of time. We love you, Beyonce girl. You did your big one. And yeah, let's get into our bigger topics, our news
Yes.
topics, our not
Yes.
so happy topics. But it's life. Okay, we gotta talk about it. Unfortunately, former President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with cancer. And when I first read the news, I was in shock because number one, as you guys know, he was planning to run, not planning, he ran for president until he dropped out last minute and Kamala Harris took over.
Mhm.
My first thing is like, I cannot believe that this is real, right? Because I think regardless of who it is, cancer is not something to play with. You know what I mean? Like the same way that I was talking to Rebecca about the importance of health. If your health is not there, nothing else matters. And a cancer diagnosis is nothing to play with. And according to reports, the type of cancer that he was diagnosed with, it seems to be, a strong, like, I don't want to say a strong strain, but it says prostate. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer
Mhm.
that has metastasized. Oh, girl, that's a lot of T's and S's. Um, Essentially, he was diagnosed with prostate stand. Let's try this again. I'm laughing not because of the
It's not
subject, but
funny. Nah, but
because
like
my English is not very good looking right now. Former President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. And according to reports, it has spread to his bones, prompted an outpouring of concern and questions about his condition. So the fact that not only was he diagnosed with prostate cancer, but it seems that the stage of cancer is,
progressive.
dangerous, right? Because it has already gone to his bones. And, Biden is not young. So cancer is nothing to play with. He is older in age. And there's been a lot of questions of like, why did it take this long for you guys to realize that he has cancer?
Right.
Was there a misstep in terms of the medical staff? Like, what happened there? And during while he was still running, people were always worried about his cognitive issues, like what's happening there. So just a lot of questions have come out after this diagnosis was released about, weren't you guys always saying that you were keeping up with his health? How come this kind of bled through
Basically
the
a
cracks?
miss. Yeah.
Exactly. So regardless of how you feel about politics, you know what I'm saying? We wish him the best of luck with his recovery. The fact that he is a former president, I have no doubt that he has the top-notch doctors and resources. But when it comes to health, money is not everything, right? Like, yes, you do need the resources, the money, the health insurance, but cancer is just something very, very tough. And we wish him the best of luck as he embarks in his recovery journey for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely sad. I'm like, when I found out, I said, I mean, I did look at that sideways because I was like,
Yeah.
how does go unchecked? And it's just like, whatever reasoning they gave, I don't care. Somebody need to get fired because what? How was this
Yeah.
missed?
Hmm.
It's actually crazy. And like we said, we do hope that treatment he does get helps. Like, I know they said that it's aggressive and it has touched the bone, which makes it even more dangerous.
Hmm.
But I hope that whatever treatment he gets does help him, because as someone who has had family members who have had cancer and thankfully have recovered, it's not fun. It's not fun. It's hard on the person, it's hard on the family.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing. So I do hope that
And
some
on that note, I also want to talk about someone else that she was a she was a Today Show. Well, not she was. She had been on leave from the show, but she was one of the anchors from the Today Show. Her name is Chanel Jones. And it was just announced today that her husband passed away from brain cancer. And he left behind 3 kids. And that is just, again, like, so sad. And the fact that cancer, it continues to be such a strong and just cancer is nothing to play with. I feel like I don't even know what to say. Chanel Jones met her husband when they were in college, and they were in love. She would always talk about them, and she had been off of the show since January, and no one knew why. And then today it was announced that I don't know if her husband had passed away prior or like he just passed away, but he died from brain cancer, and he was young. He was only in his 40s. So imagine, like, being, the kids that he left behind are still super young. So losing your parent at such a young age to cancer is just so heartbreaking. So we also send, prayers to Chanel Jones. Now she's going to be raising her 3 kids on her own. I'm sure that she is surrounded by lots of, love and family support. But at the end of the day, like, that's your husband. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
there's still going to be that phase of grief of like, this disease took away something from me. And there's nothing that I could have done to save. You know what I mean? Because there are preventative measures, but like this, there's but so much you can do. So
right.
we do not like cancer.
No, honestly, and my heart goes out to her. My heart goes out to Biden's family, and I hope that everybody basically heals in the
Yeah.
best way that they can in these
Get
situations.
checked up, guys, because preventative stuff is the best way. I know it's not cheap. That's why America needs to get is health insurance situated, but do what you can.
Right. So the next thing we're going to talk about, it's been trending on social media, and I've been seeing the jokes going around about it, about like people trying to put like parlays on who's going to get caught and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But we're going to talk about the inmates that did escape from a jail in New Orleans, right? So a fourth person has been arrested in connection to this. So her name is Connie Whedon. She has been arrested for aiding inmates who escaped from the New Orleans justice system in New Orleans last week. Whedon allegedly sent money via a cell phone app and communicated with an escapee, which is one of the people who did escape. His name is Jermaine Donald. Before and after the jailbreak, she is charged with felony accessory after the fact. Authorities continue to search for 5 of the 10 escaped inmates who face serious charges, including murder and aggravated assault. 3 others have been arrested in connection with the escape, including jail maintenance worker Sterling Williams. He's accused of helping the facility oops, sorry, of helping facilitate dad girl. Our English really no good today. Okay. He's accused of helping to facilitate the breakout by disabling plumbing. Jail operations are under scrutiny, prompting the Louisiana Department of Public Safety and Corrections to launch an audit of the facility. It's its first since 2014, focusing on the security, staffing, and policies. Law enforcement continues the manhunt and warns that anyone aiding the fugitives will be prosecuted. So I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of like what the escape looked like, because this is what's been talked about so much. So let me play this clip real quick.
For 5 New Orleans fugitives is escalating. Today, nearly 1 week after the escape, the district attorney ordering a formal and official processing of the cell as a crime scene, sweeping for fingerprints and DNA.
DAs typically aren't at crime scenes ordering fingerprint testing. That's not normal. Normally, the law enforcement agency that's responsible would have gotten that done.
Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrow, whose office has now taken charge of the investigation into the jailbreak, tells NBC News all intel suggests the fugitives remain in the area. Are you calling for more increased patrols or any other added police presence in New Orleans at these people's homes?
I think that presence is there now. These are individuals who are charged with violent felonies, and they are facing long jail sentences if they are convicted. And so that creates a pretty unpredictable and dangerous situation.
Murrow says the escapees may be receiving help from within the community, pointing to the arrests of these 2 women who state police say provided food and transportation to some of the inmates. A jail maintenance worker facing 11 charges is accused of turning off the water in this cell so the inmates could escape.
So the case is actually crazy. So these are the mugshots of the people. So this is the top is who's been captured as of right now. Remember, you're seeing this on a Friday, so this could change. So the 5 at the top are the ones who've been captured, and the 5 at the bottom are the ones who are still on the loose. And so everybody's like been doing like, oh, like this was, I mean, after you find out what their charges are, it's not actually funny. But before that, I was sitting there giggling and stuff like that, because people were like, I got 500 on this person. I got 600 on this person. They're like, who you think is going to be the last to get caught? And like, honestly, when I was taking part in the conversation, I don't know if y'all see my boy Jermaine Donald. He's over here at the bottom in the second one in. I think he just give like, he's scrappy. Like, he's not going to get caught. He's going to be like, well, he's going to get caught.
Well, we don't know that.
Well, right, we don't know, but it just, to me, he just seems like the last one. He, like, I don't know, I just get a vibe from him that he's shifty, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think the response is like, I don't know if this is America only, but we make everything a joke. It be the most serious thing, and as soon as you hop on social media, someone is making a joke out of it. I found it not funny, but one of the people that did get arrested in connection to this, because supposedly the officials are alleging that he turned off the water to help the inmates escape. And he is saying, no, I turned off the water because the toilet was clogged and I needed to unclog it. And it's just like, I just hope that, listen, if I am one of these people that allegedly help, help these inmates escape, and now I'm stuck in jail and you're out, oh, I would be pissed.
Somebody was like, after they,
and I need you to get caught.
Right. After they announced that the dude who, like, I think he's the janitor or whatever, like that, after they announced that he got arrested. So it was like, how you help them escape just for you to go in. And I was dying.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm saying. I would be so pissed because you was all up in there, just freedom. You went in and out as you please. And now the roles are reversed. Now you broke, because let's say you did it because they were paying you or something. Now you
stuck in there.
You got nothing to. And the other conversation that this was like brought up, it was like, oh, where would you go? some people went to like family members' houses, which I think, why would you do that? Because as soon as you go to a family member's house, you're going to involve them, and you're not trying to make your grandma go to jail for saving you. You know what I mean? Or for trying to keep you safe. So it's like, you better be on the run. I mean, I'm not saying I don't associate with none of this, but all I'm saying is, if once you escape, you better have a well thought out plan, because if you don't, that's you gonna get caught.
No, honestly, and I've seen people like talking about that, and I believe one of them, when he escaped, apparently they caught him because he decided to go on Instagram Live or TikTok Live or something like that. I'm like, y'all are not serious about your freedom. Personally, me, now this is hypothetical, but if this was me, baby, mind you, they had a 7-hour head start. Why are you still in New Orleans, baby? Like,
Yeah.
if you already a criminal. So it's just like, if you already are in jail for all these different things, by the time you already escaped. So by the time let's say they catch you, by the time you get back in jail, the time you about to get is about to be even more. So it's like, by the time I get out, I already acknowledge that. So I'm gonna just start racking up all my time. For real, for real. I'm hijacking a car. I'm trying to leave the country. I'm getting fake
But I feel
ID.
like also, if you're doing all of that, you're creating the steps to get caught, right? Because if you're hijacking a car, people are gonna find like that.
But you got to be
need to do
strategic about it.
you need to do a whole lot of research if you are trying to successfully escape and get away with it. That cannot be you just randomly do type of, like, you need to have a backup to the backup to the backup to the backup. And you can tell based on who has gotten caught that the top 5 did not seem to have pre-planned the events very well. So we'll see where this ends up. I think they're all gonna get caught, but we will see. Stay tuned.
I don't know. I'm telling you, my boy Jermaine, he look a little shifty.
We will see.
So the next thing we're going to talk about, so if you have been on social media, like we said, there is some drama, right? So we have Remy Ma and Papoose, right? And if you know, they were like the couple for years. People used to always consider them goals, this, that, and third, like their representation of Black love. But over the years, like we've heard that transition, like of like apparently they're going through issues. There's a divorce. He's dating somebody else, and then he does come out dating somebody else, and then Remy Ma's dating somebody else. And so we're all like, what happened, right? And like I know Papoose in the past had mentioned that there was some cheating involved and things like that, but we never really like knew anything. But things have really gotten to like a head because now everybody's spilling their own tea, right? So you got Remy Ma spilling her tea on Instagram Live. You got Papoose spilling his tea on Instagram Live. So now I'm just like, oh my God. So we're going to give y'all a quick little breakdown on everything before I show you guys the clips, the lives, and everything like that. So the public fallout between Remy Ma and Papoose has escalated dramatically, with both parties airing accusations and grievances in a series of emotional Instagram lives and posts. So here's a summary of the drama. So Remy Ma went on an 80+ minute IG live to address her estranged husband Papoose and his girlfriend boxer. If I butcher your name, I apologize. But claressashields, echoing that Clarissa's statement that there's no ill will, and while she's still throwing shade at Pap, right? So Remy Ma claimed that their marriage ended in May of 2022, right? So alleging that there was verbal abuse and an incident where Pap had tried to break her car window. She accused him of mooching off of Shields and stalling their divorce. So Remy Ma also said that everything on her end was signed and ready, even offered to pay the divorce herself. In response, Papoose posted a screenshot proving that he filed for divorce that same day. So this all happened on Thursday, which was May 22nd. He filed that divorce on May 22nd, right?
I thought they were no longer together though.
You can still be separated if you're married.
Right, but what I'm saying is they hadn't actually started the paperwork of divorcing until now.
So she claims that she's been started the paperwork and he just never signed it. And now he's talking about after she put that out, he that same day filed for divorce.
The math not mathing, but continue.
Somebody's lying. So he accused Remy Ma of cheating. Oh wait, no. So in response, Papoose posted the screenshot proving that he filed for divorce that same day, blaming that the delay on wanting to protect their daughter from public drama, right? So he accused Remy Ma of cheating multiple times since her release from prison, and claimed she has been trying to reconcile she was trying to reconcile with him just the day before. He said she kept him from seeing their daughter since last 2023. Since late 2023. Remy Ma fired back, denying that she ever wanted to get back with him, mocking him for being emotional and claiming him a bozo in her phone. She accused him of pawning her Cartier bracelet, exposing alleged messages, and threatening to involve his son in the drama. She also dismissed Pap's claim that he wrote a majority of her lyrics and called him out for bringing up her children. So in essence, the breakup of Remy Ma and Papoose has turned into a messy, highly public feud involving infidelity claims, co-parenting disputes, ghostwriting allegations, and financial grievances fueled by dueling IG lives and social media drama. So kind of what brought this all up is that Clarissa had went on to the Breakfast Club, and the conversation had came up about Remy Ma and Papoose. And so we're going to play that clip first before I show you guys Remy Ma.
You said there's some things he needs to handle? What do you mean by that?
Say it again.
You said earlier there's some things Pap need to handle?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's the elephant in the room. I don't have to say it.
I don't know.
In his personal life.
Oh,
yeah, it's the elephant in the room. Like,
yeah.
but that takes time, and like I said, that's not my place to speak on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll get handled. I just know that from my perspective, I'm with him every day, and when I'm not with him, we're on the phone every day, and we're talking, and we're FaceTiming, and you know, we love each other. So that's just kind of what it is. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's a situation, and it is what it is.
I'm assuming you mean like you want to wait till the divorce is like official. Did that hold you? Did that keep you from like giving your all?
No. No, because we're together all the time.
So the all is already given, is what she's saying.
Yeah, that's it. We already talk. We talk about so many different things, and I'm 30, so we talk about kids and family and stuff like that. But like, that still has to get taken care of. But like, you know, once again, it's not. It's not for me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not married. You know. So yeah, that'll get handled. But still, at the same time, I've been like, I'm such a secure woman when it like comes to him, because he's proven it to me. Like I was when somebody is just truthful with you from the beginning, but there is no secrets. It's just, hey, this is what it is, and do you accept or do you not accept? That's kind of what it was. And he's been truthful from the beginning, and we fell asleep on the phone for 3-4 months of us first getting together. So for us to fall asleep on a regular night and then to wake up to chaos in the morning was like, oh shit.
I would say that's how we found out, because y'all was on the damn phone.
But that had been going on for 3-4 months. And that wasn't just at night. We talked from sun up to sundown. Yeah. So that, like I said, that's what shocked me, because I was like, oh hell, what the heck? Because if we go to sleep on the phone for 4 months every night, and the phone is saying it's 4 hours, 3 hours, whatever hours on the phone, you don't think that one day you're gonna wake up to that, you know? So that's what threw me off. But hey, at the end of the day, look, women are women. I don't know what else to say. Like I don't have any ill will toward any women, and I don't have any ill will toward her. You know.
So y'all haven't spoke or nah?
Nah, I mean, she made her post and whatever, and that was about it. But like I said, women are women. They're very emotional creatures. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was just, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was emotions or I don't know what it was, because I don't know her and she don't know me. Yeah. She don't know me either. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know what that was, but like I said, it wasn't for me. That's why I just responded how I responded. We're gonna promote the movie. We're gonna promote the fight. Once again, I fight July 26th. Main event at Little Caesars Arena. Tickets on Ticketmaster. 19,000 people need to be there. Last fight I did 12,000. Let's go for 19 this one.
I just want to say before we get into it, Papoose love him a strong woman, and I stand. Period.
So
because Remy Ma don't play, and neither does Clarissa. He def got it tight.
So that was like the clip that kind of like it was already a boiling pot, but this let the steam out, basically. So now, like I mentioned, Papoose and Remy Ma both went on Instagram Live and were just talking all they had to say. I only have the one of Remy Ma because Papoose, his was just like, he was like saying she cheated. We already knew that. And then he was saying that he wrote 90% of her raps. And she went into the shade room comments, was like, boy, stop lying, basically. So this is Remy Ma's Instagram Live.
I know what's going to go. Because as long as don't know what's going on, he gonna still sit up in here, walking through here, not paying, talking to me crazy, treating me crazy, doing this. He care about that image though. As soon as I did it, what he did, this is my new girlfriend. Oh my God, here we go. Come on, God. I was like, yes. He is a great support system. I'll never take that away from him. Don't nobody hold a purse or tie a shoe like a great support system. Very entitled, very needy, very I don't even, you know what? I don't even know who he is today. Let me rephrase that. Because the person that I married in 2008, that's not who this is now. Now he's a wife. Papoose, you have my lawyer's information. If you can't afford to retain a lawyer, since your lawyer that the number you gave us has not been retained yet, I told you I'll paper it. If somebody over there that loves you wants to paper it, great. That will make me happy. Everything is signed and ready to go. I don't want nothing. I'm not even asking for child support. My daughter's school, her babysitter, her nanny, her gymnastics, her swimming, her dancing, her healthcare, her all of that. I take care of it like I've always done. I don't need anything. I have the police footage, the cam. When everything went left 2 days before my daughter's 6th birthday, of him trying to kick my window in because I was in that car with his phone like this. Sending because I'm not that go through his phones. You understand? My phone gets gone through all the time. Imagine remodeling your kitchen, spending about $150,000 by yourself, remodeling your kitchen. And the workers keep coming, you showing you little recording devices that was hidden everywhere. Like, what? What? I don't mess with people. I'm not going to be with anybody because of what they have. I like people because of how they treat me. Okay? And if I'm with somebody, they treat me great. Y'all don't know what a downgrade is. A downgrade. Why? Because somebody not on who y'all think. Because I know that's billionaires. And won't buy them a cup of soup. Okay? So be careful what a downgrade is. And even if the money, like you can only, when people talk about how much money they got and how rich they are, and this, I just be laughing. You can only fool broke people to think that you got more money than what you have. Because people who really got it be looking at you like.
Clock that T. I hate a man that always wants to flex how much money he got. I don't care how much money you got. It's cute. But if you think that you are going to sweep me off my feet with your money, oh, baby, this not it. It works for some people. But as a society, we need to realize that money is not everything. And like Remy said, you could have somebody that could be a millionaire and wouldn't dare to buy you a haul when you sick. Please.
And so, no, the part that killed me was like, he's a great support system. If you need someone to hold your purse, like,
he's a wife now.
Girl, someone's like, oh, he a wife? Dying. So my whole thing, right? So before we got into all this, I have mentioned, like, I have always been the type of person, I don't like to claim celebrities as relationship goals or like them being my outlook on love and stuff like that, because growing up, I feel like we have seen Remy Ma and Papoose as like that type of Black love relationship that everybody, well, like most Black people say that they want to embody, right? And so to see this, I'm like, this is exactly why I don't like to put all my weight into couples that I don't know, because like I said, you don't know what happens behind closed doors, right? You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what agreements they have. You don't know what, like, public image is everything. And as long as you can maintain that public image, then the narrative around you guys will always stay the same. But the moment things start to downfall, it's like everybody's like, wait, was I like catfished? Like, what happened? Right? So for me, seeing this happen and seeing how like they're going at each other, and how basically like the image that we all had in our head, it was just all a facade, or it was probably true at one point and then there was a shift in the relationship. I just think it's like crazy to me to see that shift. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I also think this shows why it's so important to, it's okay, like people grow apart. That's natural, and we have to accept that. When people have been together for so long, especially when you start dating at a young age, let's say you were in your 20s, right? And now you in your 20 years later, you're 40, you guys have different dreams, aspirations, and you're just not seeing life the same way. It's okay to drift apart amicably. I think that's the right word that I'm looking for. But also, it is so important for you to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row before you go out and get into another relationship. If you know that you were not officially, and I get it, some people are, separated but still married, they're not living together. Okay, great and dandy. But when you are not officially divorced, things like this happen. Okay, it's cute that you want to continue your life and get into a new relationship as, no, we're separated. Okay, great. But if you are officially married, there are still things on the table that unite you, other than kids, because of course, when you have kids, the relationship will always be there, right? The goal is to have at least a cordial relationship for you to be able to raise your kids together. But yeah, before you move on and want to move on with your life, make sure that your ducks are in a row. File that divorce, because what you mean you just filed for divorce? I know Remy Ma saying, oh, I've been filed for divorce and I was waiting for you to sign the papers. But regardless which way it happened, I think maybe they thought that they would get back together, right? Or like this is just a fling. And it turned out that it was just not a fling.
I think, and so to echo your point about, like, if you guys are going to be over, right? I'm the type of person, I don't think I would want to date anybody who just got separated from their wife in any capacity, because it's like, if the divorce is still not final, and I'm not saying that there's people who get divorced and get back together, right? But what I'm saying is, like, if y'all aren't actively taking that step, or you're not showing me as the girlfriend, I'm not seeing no movement on your end for this divorce, or you just feeding me sweet nothings, I'm gonna look at you sideways, because it's just like, do you want to move forward with me, or do you just want to move forward with me temporarily? You know what I mean? And I just think in this point with like Clarissa, everybody's like in the comments talk about like the lights are on, but nobody's home. Because one of the things that Remy Ma had basically posted, she has said, like, if you just turned 30 and allegedly just met someone a month ago, that is 47
months ago.
Oh, 8 months ago. Oops, sorry. Thank you, Shayla. 8 months ago, that is 47 years old, that I knew since you were 10 and was married to them since you were 13. And he has 4 biological children, one child, age 28, the other one 29, another one 25, and another one 24, and will be 25, and a 6-year-old baby. And currently promising you a newborn, while finally agreeing to divorce 18 hours, 54 minutes, and 3 seconds ago. Please refrain from speaking, right? Personally. Personally, right?
He ate that up.
Yeah. The 18 minutes, 54, the countdown took me out.
Well, that's exactly why I'm so confused, because I'm like, as your current girlfriend, what you mean you just submitted the divorce papers? If you've been dating years ago, why are you now putting that work in?
That's what I'm saying. That's what's confusing, because the motion not making sense. If you wanted the motion of a divorce, you would have did that a while ago, right? If you really felt like you've had something with me and you want to progress with me, I need you to leave the past behind. And I'm not talking about in terms of the children, I'm talking about in terms of the wife, right? I don't need nothing coming to me about, oh, well, that's still my husband, this, that, and the third, because now you opening me up to disrespect, right? And so then Clarissa basically responded and she said, Remy Ma, I'm gonna say what the F I want to. Yes, we're gonna have a family. Yes, we're happy. Yes, you're still invited to the barbecues and the cookout, long as you have a good attitude. Leave me and Pap alone. Nobody worried about you. July 26th is our only focus. And ain't nobody scared of you either. Sign them divorce papers. Pap filed yesterday, miss. Girl, you echoing the point that he just filed them is giving to, okay, this is how I see it. I can only speak from how I see things. It's giving, he is feeding you sweet nothings and you are feeding into the delusion. To echo the point that he filed the papers yesterday and you have been with this man for 8 however plus months, baby.
And it has been rocky since the start with the little stabs and jabs on social media. And Clarissa has a bright future ahead of her. She's super young, she's beautiful and talented. And I would hate for a man to get in the middle of what you got going on.
Right.
Because to be honest, I feel like she at the start of her career and he's at the end. So don't let him drag you down. Like, it is very infuriating. And I hope, because again, when people say love is blind, I do believe that that is the dangerous, toxic type of love. When you in that Kool-Aid, the love is blind Kool-Aid, you will do whatever. This is my man. I love him. He wants the best for me. And it is very hard to shake out of that. And I hope she has good people in her circle that can help her see the light at the end of the tunnel. But then at the end of the day, it takes you to be able to see that. I hope Papoose has good intentions with her, because she does seem like a really good person. And Remy Ma is just clocking the tea. Like, listen, I've been with this man for years. We have a lot of kids together, and you are very young. And I think when you are young, we're young, we are a little bit more naive. And
I just think, and I don't think it was included in the Remy Ma clip, but I just think when it comes to these type of situations, it's very tricky as well, because for me, I'm the type of person, if I don't have a horse in that battle, I'm not going to speak on it, right? Like, I'm not going to put my 1 or 2 cents out to the public. I may talk to my man about it, but I'm not going to get on like, and listen, they probably baited her into responding about that, but you could have said, kept it at, he just needs to handle the stuff going on in his private life, and kept it at that. When Charlemagne tried to sit there and say, what are you talking about? Just be like, listen, we all, like, we know what we're talking about. Once he settles that, me and him can progress on, and kept it at that. You didn't need to go on for 2 minutes to explain nothing, because one, that's not your situation. That's a situation where you have with you and your man. But you don't need to bring that to the public, right? Because now the stuff that's going on behind closed doors, there's stuff that Remy Ma was exposing. I was like, I ain't know none of this.
Yeah. And to also go to the point of like the age difference. Again, age difference, some people are for it, some people are against it, whatever. Claressashields is 30 years old. Papoose is 47 years old. So that's a 17-year age gap. And keep in mind, Clarissa's saying, I want kids, I want a whole family. And Papoose already got kids. Not saying that you can't have more kids. You know, one thing about men, the way life works, men can have kids when they're 60, 80, and 90, and women can't. So to go back to the like original point that I was making, I think in a relationship, it is very important to understand what you want out of life, what stage in life you are in. And I feel like Clarissa right now is in like, you know, her career bag. She does want to have a family. So she's in the start of her life journey. Mm-hmm. And Papoose is not in that journey. Like, I'm not saying you can't restart your life at 47. You most definitely can. But when you already have all of this baggage, it's going to make it very, very hard, especially when you're a public figure. Like, I'm here not worried, but my focus should be just promoting my fight. But now your past life is the drama that is front and center. Like, I'm here trying to promote my fight. I'm not trying to talk about my man's wife and his kids.
But honestly, I'm
Or
not gonna lie
ex-wife.
to you. I think, like, unless you are like one of those people who are into like the whole boxing sport and stuff like that,
Yeah.
to be honest, if it wasn't for this Papoose and Remy Ma drama, I wouldn't know who Clarissa is, right? So I think at the same time, this drama kind of benefits things to make people look at her more and to like basically engage. And I'm not saying that's the way to go, but
I
this
mean, it might give her likes and social media clicks, but I think she is very well known within her industry. Of
right,
like,
I'm saying to the people who do like who
yeah,
are into like the whole sports genre and stuff. I said genre, the whole sports of boxing and stuff like that, then they
yeah.
know like, okay, she's cool, she does this, she does that. But personally, me, I have never seen a fight of hers unless it was posted on the Shade Room. And that was just because Papoose happened to be there as well. Right.
Yeah.
So like I honestly, if you're for her, you're for her. Obviously, let us know in the comments below how you feel about the situation. If you have dated somebody who has been separated from their significant other, what has the experience been like for y'all? I can't say that I've ever dated somebody who separated from their wife or anything like that. I don't think I would want to.
Yeah.
Also, let us know if you feel like Clarissa even has a right to speak at all in the situation, right?
Yeah.
So,
The last point I want to make here is that we do, well, let me not speak for Rebecca. I do hope that Papoose and Remy Ma officially end it and they both go their separate ways. And whether that's Papoose staying with Clarissa and Remy Ma with her whatever she got going on. When we bring things to social media, it never ends well. It never ends well because it also opens up the door for people like us to talk about it. Because once you bring it to the internet, is everybody's business. So we just want it
right,
to end in a cordial manner.
right. End it amicably. Yes.
Period.
So let's get into our social corner. So like we mentioned earlier at the top of the show, our social corner is basically where we talk about a lot of things that are trending on social media, in terms of things we've seen on TikTok, Instagram, or anything like that, that we just want to talk about briefly. We talk about a bunch of different topics in this portion of the show, and we don't spend too much on it, like maybe like 5 minutes on each topic. But as always, before we get into them, let us know in the comments below if you have any thoughts on anything that we talked about, okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about is Justin Bieber and Haley Bieber. I think that's her name. Is that
Yeah,
her name?
we're gonna go with Hailey Bieber.
Okay, let's go with Haley Bieber. So right now, like I don't know. I think what I mentioned in past episodes, like people are like concerned for like Justin Bieber because they say like he doesn't look like he's doing too well, and like he's had that past, like especially with the way that he shows himself on social media and in
Yeah.
the media, that he just doesn't look like he's doing well. And there's always been conversations about his relationship in terms of like him and his wife Haley, right? So the new controversy that's happening is Justin Bieber is facing backlash from fans after sharing and later revising a message congratulating his wife Haley Bieber on her first Vogue cover. In his original Instagram post, in the caption, he admitted that during a past argument, he had cruelly told Haley that she would never make the cover. He acknowledged the comment was hurtful and reflected on his emotional immaturity at the time, emphasizing the importance of growth and connection over retaliation. Bieber ended the message by asking Haley for forgiveness. Some fans criticized him for overshadowing her achievement with negative memory. So I'm going to show you guys the clip, like the post and basically the message, right? So as you see, this is the Vogue cover. She look cute. And so his caption, the original caption, he's since changed it if you go to try and see it. He says, "Yo, this reminds me when me and Haley had got into a huge argument. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know, so mean. For some reason, because I felt so disrespected, I thought I got to get even. I think as we mature, we realize that we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy and connection. So, baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get on the cover of Vogue, because clearly I was sadly mistaken. And it's just like, y'all, imagine, right? You accomplish something that you've been wanting so bad, and your man gets on social media, and the first thing that comes out his mouth is, I remember when I told you you would never make it. Why is that anybody's business? Mind you, that's disrespectful to say, one, right? But two, for you to take the moment of me being happy about this to remind me about a time where you told me I could never make it, and then tell everybody else in the world that, it's just like you're overshadowing my moment to make it about you, kind of.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was definitely so upset. I not gonna lie, I was a Justin Bieber fan bad. So I hate that he's back on this downward spiral. He's clearly dealing with something mentally. I don't know if he's using alcohol or drugs. I don't know, but something is not right in that head. And you know what I mean? Like, he just became a father. And this is the thing with celebrities that's kind of iffy, because if I'm not mistaken, as of now, he gets mad when there's like a lot of paparazzi and stuff. But when you bring up this private conversation to the public, you are opening the door for people to talk about you and your relationship. You know that people have already been on Hailey Bieber because they're saying that like she was a stalker and that this was all set up, and it gives conspiracy theory, but whatever. We all know that social media is filled with that, right? Trying to bash your wife for how you guys came to be. So why in the world? This is kind of like pouring gasoline, because now this is going to reignite conversations. What? And again, you are overshadowing her moment. If clearly you said you had a come to Jesus moment, you learned from that mistake, why are you reopening that wound? Right. You know what I mean? Like, in a sense, it's like, oh, I'm pretty sure Hailey was very upset when he said that. And like, let's say I forgave you, and now I'm happy. This is my moment to shine. And when I go on social media, I see my husband is re-injuring the wound. We did that.
And my whole thing, right? And I understand things are said in the heat of the moment a lot, right? I know I've said things in the heat of the moment. I know other people, and it's just like, that's between me and that person. We already come to an understanding. We already, like, understand that, right? Let's say they have a wedding. I pull up to their wedding and say, remember when I told you that I don't think you would ever find a man to marry you? I guess I was sadly mistaken. You better kick me out the wedding. Why would you even say that? And it's just like, if it was in the heat of the moment, let that heat of the moment be between you and your significant other. You don't need to bring it up to me, because now, like you mentioned, this is adding fuel to the fire. People already always are comparing her relationship with you to your relationship with Selena. People are already saying that she's this, she's that, A, Y through Z, right? Why would you even be one of the people who, like, you're basically acting like one of the people who comment on her life?
Yeah. And I hate to see it. So I hope he gets the help that he needs. And Hailey doesn't really hop on social media and talks about anything that's going on between them, but I'm pretty sure that things have to be rocky. On top of the fact that she just recently had a child, now my partner is also dealing through stuff. So I just hope they figure it out, and best of luck with them, because something needs to be worked out.
Something ain't right in that ocean, for real.
Next, our good sister Onija is back on the social. Actually, she's never left social media, but she got a new interview just dropped. The last time we talked about her, she had an interview from the Shade Room. This time she was on Jason Lee's podcast. And the reason I want to talk about this is because this time around, Onija talked about how she met her husband. A lot of us knew, we talked about how her husband was way younger than her, like how she met a man from Pakistan. So apparently, the way she met him, according to Onija, this could all literally be made up. We don't know. But she claims that she met her husband while she was on a customer service call with AT&T. So if you are looking for your man, you may want to hop on a customer service call. Call whatever phone service you got, Verizon, AT&T, and find you your man. Can you imagine that?
This reminds me of, you remember Cheetah Girls 3?
Yes.
With Aquanetta, where she met her man on the call service.
Oh my God. I think that is so funny. So she claims that that's how she met her man. She was on a call with AT&T. And he was just so nice and helpful. And they were just on the phone for hours. And I think she said that he asked for her number. And lo and behold, that's how they got there. She also addressed of like her son had said that Onija had mental issues or like she was dealing with stuff. And she claimed that no, he knew it was a lie. And he was just doing that to get attention because he wanted me to come back. And so Jason Lee was like, you know, like, did you just like leave your son or whatever? And she was like, oh no, girl, I was just, well, not girl. She was like, oh no, I was just on vacation. And Jason Lee was like, you was on vacation for you was on a honeymoon for 6 months. And she's like, oh, like Jason Lee just kept clocking her tea and her inconsistencies with her stories. And it was so funny. She also revealed that apparently she has some sort of medical degree. And when Jason Lee asked her what it was, let me see.
I got the video right here.
Okay.
So what were you all doing for money for the 5 months when you were over there? I mean, he was still at AT&T because he wasn't famous yet.
Right.
Was he just taking care of you?
Hold up. Let me get the, okay.
So what were you all doing for money for the 5 months when you were over there? I mean, he was still at AT&T because he wasn't famous yet.
Right.
Was he just taking care of you?
He was definitely taking care of me. I do have my own income. I did retire. I went to medical school. Shout out to Garden State of Intuition in New Jersey.
Intuition, like, is that a real
Institute?
School?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Institute is a real college for medical assistants. Right. I was doing that for a long time, and I'm like reaping the benefits. So I do have my own little income right now of my own, besides what I had. So basically, for sure.
But when you were there, he was taking care of you.
He was.
Yeah.
It is so funny. First of all, becoming a medical assistant. First of all, we're proud of you, but that does not mean you went to medical school. I'm sure the doctors are very pissed because medical school is medical school. Medical assistant is very much different. Schooling, how much money you pay is not the same. And then when she said, you guys know we're very proud Jersey girls. I said, I ain't never heard of this institute before. She said intuition, first of all. And I was just dying of laughter because she went to Garden State of Intuition. And I'm like, girl, my intuition says, I don't think you really went to that school or graduated.
No. So as y'all know.
And she said she retired. I'm so sorry I had to say that. Girl, you retired.
Listen, I'm trying to retire at 26. So I get it.
There you go.
Get it.
Inspirational.
Oh, okay. Listen, she's such an inspiration. We love to see it. So, like, you know, for me, as someone who's been I am an Onijahrobinson advocate, right? I tell y'all, I feel like true delusion can make anybody happy, okay? And it's just like the more and more she talks, y'all can't tell me this lady not delusional. Like, she is so, but it's like we're laughing, and I know we're laughing because it's funny, but at the same time, it's a little concerning because it's like, girl, like we know you lying. I know you're lying.
Girl, listen, they say fake it till you make it. And Onija is the perfect example of that.
And my sister's gonna fake it till she make it, till she break it, till she pay for it. Okay. And I'm here for it, right?
Well, and she's also a pro social justice. In that interview, she talked about how she was like, oh, I want to give a shout out to Pakistan, and she is praying for peace. Because Pakistan is also dealing with some sort of something. And she is also a social justice advocate and wants world peace for Pakistan.
Of course,
so
in there.
Period.
She got to reap the benefits, right? How he said, he's like, Miss Onija, I can't speak for her.
Garden State of Intuition, child. I'm going to say that for a very long time. Next, I want to talk about AI dating. If you're wondering what in the world is AI dating, same. Apparently, there are people that use some sort of thing like ChatGPT where you I've never used it, but where you can text and like it answers you. And so it's kind of like a friend, but virtually. Well, people are now finding ways to date AI in the sense of like you can text somebody and they can respond to you and you can feel like you're talking to a partner, but it is a machine. As a society, we need to dead that. And mind you, I'm single, so I understand it is very hard to date in 2025, but it is absolutely unacceptable for you to be texting a machine and little by little you end up falling in love because you, girl, find a friend. Listen, or just, I'm just scared for our society that AI dating is even a thing. There's some sort of services where you can supposedly, I was watching a vlog, and in that vlog, he was talking to some of his friends, and his friends is like, oh, there's even some sort of software where you can kind of like DIY your partner. You can like create a voice for them, how you like them to talk to you. Do you want him to be aggressive? Do you want him to be this? And I'm just like, what is happening?
My thing, right? As you mentioned, us as a society, we need to be for real, right? At what point with us as a society do we sit there and look at people and ask, when do they need to be transported for a medical evaluation, right? Because the bar is in hell at this point. It's practically non-existent. We have no boundaries. What do you mean you are dating pixels? Like you are dating, like I don't understand. I don't understand. If you want to fall in love so bad, listen, go to Best Buy and pick up an SD card. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like
and also it's just like, it also shows how down bad we are as a society, that people feel so lonely. You know what? Like, it's actually not a joke that people feel so lonely that they get.
That's the reasoning.
That people feel so lonely that they get a high or they get some sort of like ignition from just texting. Essentially, nobody. You're texting a computer. Is no one. It's like, I don't know. Can that be considered some sort of like mental instability?
Girl,
that
this is a mental illness. This is a mental illness. Everybody is taking a SpongeBob episode of Plankton and Karen and thinking that that's what they need to be. This is mental illness.
Okay. So you would separate using ChatGPT for everything and talking to it like it's your friend versus using AI as like to date and talk to a computer.
Hey, look, using ChatGPT, GBT.
But you talk to it every day like it's your best friend type thing.
Who does that? That's not normal either, regardless of the relationship status. Talking to it like a friend, talking to it like your man, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever it is mentally unstable. You need to see a doctor today, right? I don't care if you're using AI to help you with an essay, summarizing or doing whatever for daily tasks, that's completely different from using it to sit there and have actual human connections with something that's not even human. That is not okay. Like, y'all need to really look in the mirror or take that mirror with you to the psychologist, because y'all are not all right in the head. That does not make sense. And you talk about some, that's how down bad we are. No, the simple answer is mental illness. Y'all are sick in the head. I don't care how lonely you are. Walk outside, join speed dating. Like, people create all these different dating apps and everything like that is virtual, that you can sit there and try. But for you to sit there and go through an AI app to talk to some pixels because you want to get into a relationship, you're sick in the head. I don't care what you say.
Okay, well, those are the doctor orders from Rebecca. The prescription has been sent.
I must have went to the Garden State Institution of whatever.
Of Intuition. She, the degree came from Garden State of Intuition. Period.
Yes.
Lilo and Stitch.
Yes. So y'all, what? Lilo and Stitch are coming out with a movie, y'all, and I have a little bit of the trailer, but I'm a little excited. When I watched this, I kind of got goosebumps. I'm not gonna lie to you. So let me play the trailer for you guys real quick.
We have apprehended a dangerous experiment. Where is he?
He escaped.
He is trying to find the police cruisers.
He took the red one. What hideous planet is caught in your crosshairs?
Shooting star! I wish for a friend. Like a best friend.
What the hell?
He's so cute and fluffy.
He is your responsibility. Got it.
We promise.
Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
I obviously it was longer and stuff like that, but I didn't want to put the whole thing. But like,
Mhm.
I just think it's so adorable. The only thing that my concern is, as someone who watched the cartoon of Lilo and Stitch, you know, growing up, one of the things we always talk about, because you know, there's been that question like who would win between Lilo and DW from Arthur, and they was like DW was all mouth, Lilo was nuck if you buck. I just feel like the girl who's portraying her just not giving very much nuck if you buck, but still, I think from a sentimental factor, I'm excited to see this movie.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about bringing things from our generation to the new generation. I'm trying to be, come to terms with that. And as a huge Disney fan, I love Lilo and Stitch, and I love that they turned it into a movie. I'm excited to watch it, and I'm just excited to get all the feels. Anytime I go back and I watch the shows that I used to watch when I was younger, I don't even know how to explain that nostalgic feeling, but it just takes you back to those memories when you had to pay no bills, and it was just like, regardless of what was happening, because I'm sure things were crazy at the time, but when you're younger, you're not thinking about it, right? So I'm super excited to go watch it. I don't think I'll be going opening weekends, but I love the memes that are like, I better not see no kids in the theater because this is a movie for me. And it's all the like 20, 30-year-olds that were raised on Lilo and Stitch.
Honestly.
Because same, I need to be there and I will
Right.
be crying.
Honestly, I remember when like Lilo and Stitch had their own little movie on Disney growing up. I remember crying, especially the part where he was like, "Oh, Hannah, get out
We love family, period."
I was like, I tear up, and so I'm kind of, and you know, Shayla will tell you, I'm not really the movie girl.
Girl, she's not gonna see it. I'm telling you,
I'm gonna go see it.
No, you're not. Have you seen
go see
Sinners?
Barbie.
Have you seen Sinners? Okay, thank you.
Remember
Next
at the top of the
topic.
show, hold up. Remember at the top of the show how we talked about I don't know how to like make time. Yeah, I haven't made time because I don't have time.
She's not gonna watch it. I will watch it and I will report back.
You have no
Our
faith.
last topic for Social Corner. What's the tea about? Oh, you want me to talk about it? Klarna, honey. If you don't know Klarna is essentially something that you use. It kind of gives layaway. It helps you pay for something when you are not able to pay the full amount. So you could just buy something and pay for it in installments. Klarna is going down, honey. The stocks is not stocking. But honestly, I could have told you that. The signs were clear. The last time we talked about Klarna, it was when they made a partnership with, I don't know if it was DoorDash or Uber, correct. And back then, I was opposed to that. And still to this day, listen, I know that money can be tight. I know it because I was raised in a paycheck by paycheck household. And even still, my mom raised me on some, if you cannot afford it, don't buy it. A lot of us try to live above our means. If you cannot afford Chanel, don't try to buy Chanel. Go to Marshall's, go to a 99-cent store and get the $5 bag because that is the only thing you can afford. Stop trying to worry or keep up with the latest trends, or I need the red bottoms because this person got it on social media, or I need this Louis bag because this is what's in. Who cares? The last thing you want is to get in debt because you wanted to prove a certain point or to be a part of a social status that you're just not a part of. And that is okay. We need to dead that as a society. And I think social media exacerbate, is that the word? Like it heightens that up because you see so many people, they're always on vacation and this and that. Social media is fake, you guys. Social media is fake. You could have somebody, you could be following someone right now that's always on the go, but is knee deep in debt. Do you want that? No. So get what you can afford, please.
And I think so for me, when I saw this, like I remember I sent it to Shayla, I was like, I could have foreshadowed that. Like we knew that was going to happen. My thing is, right, to your point, I feel like us as a society, we try to maintain these lifestyles that are not actually our lifestyles for the, I want to say like the focus of others, to get that like, oh my God, you see that she got this. Like to your point, if you can't afford Chanel, if you go to Rainbow, you could get you a GG. Like I don't know what the GG stand for, but you know, you can afford that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I've always been told like by adults, my parents and stuff like that, like if you can't buy it twice and it's really not, like you can't afford it at that moment, you can't afford it. Sometimes if you can't afford it, sometimes it's not needed. Now, I'm not talking about like in terms of like your regular bills, like lights, electricity and things like that, but I'm talking about like if you need a new computer, but your old computer is still working, you don't need to purchase that if that is not in the cards for you right now. Just because everybody else is getting a new laptop does not mean that you need to be one of the people.
Yeah. And I also think if you are the type of person that thinks that credit cards are free money, that is setting you up for failure, because a lot of people, they open up all the credit cards and they rack up the bills for all the credit cards. All the credit cards are maxed out. That is not okay. Number one, you're messing up your credit. And if you want to own a house, be able to get a car and do things like that in the US, you need good credit. So obviously these corporations are obviously going to offer you all the credit cards because they want you in debt, because then that means you're going to be tied to them for life. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. And I just think as someone who has student debts out the wazoo, right? My student loans are loaning, right? Sometimes like I think I'm like, if I'm trying to think about like repayment methods. Like I'm trying to think about how I'm going to pay credit card bills, student loans, and everything at the same time. I will be the type of person people think like, and because of how we present ourselves on social media or what people see, because like Shayla mentioned, social media is not real. Why would I show you me in misery all the time? Right. So like people have this idea, and I'm speaking for me, like have this idea and this facade that like, oh, my lifestyle is one way. Whole time I'm buying stuff off the sales rack.
Which is okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that.
But that's to me, I don't have this idea in my mind that I'm too good for that. There's other people who feel that way, right? And it's like, to me, it's just like, if you cannot afford it, be humble enough to understand your circumstances. If you can't afford it, it's not in the cards for you sometimes. And I'm not talking about in terms of your regular bills. I'm talking about the things that you just feel like you want to splurge on. If you can't afford to do that, always put the necessities before the, oh, I could just want this for the glitz and glam. Always put your necessities above that. And using Amazon, when we talked about Klarna doing a partnership with DoorDash, I'm like, if you cannot afford a Big Mac, use something in the fridge. If you got eggs, make a boiled egg, make a deviled egg. You know, like you work with what you got, and some people try to live above what they got. And that's why we have this problem with the debts and Klarna going down. Now let's get into our sports corner, though. This, listen, a 2-woman band.
Literally.
So the first thing we're going to talk about, I've been seeing this trending on social media since last week, or I think like the week before. Was it last week?
As soon as it happened.
Right. So basically, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, they versed each other. What teams are they again? I know one
Indiana Fever is Caitlin, and Chicago Sky is for Angel Reese.
Right. So they had their season opener game against each other. And in that season opener game, they basically, things were, I didn't watch the full game. I can only, and I'm going to preface this by saying I'm only speaking to what I saw in terms of what was posted on social media. Now, I don't know if you watched the whole.
Yeah, I watched the game.
Right. So Shayla watched the whole game. So I'm just speaking in terms of what I think happened. I feel like because of the game, like, there's already a lot of talk about it, especially from the times of both
college
and Angel in college and everything like that. So I could just imagine that there was a lot of tension already in the building, not even just from them two. I'm assuming the fans, right? The media and the coverage around it, like people gassing the game up. So things were already heated. So when this play happened, I'm going to show you guys the video. Things was already getting testy, in my opinion.
But from my perspective, in terms of players, I don't think nothing was there. It was just like they were playing and then this just ended up happening. But like Rebecca said, the backstory of like college of them, if like the, you know what I mean? The scuffles, they've been scuffling since college days. But as this game was happening, there was no tension. It was just like, it was hyped up because it was the Caitlin and Angel Reese playing against each other.
Right. So let me play the clip for you guys real quick.
Too strong on a three. And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin Clark. Afterwards has something to say as Clark walks away. We know there are always increased eyeballs, energy, and attention around the matchups between Reese and Clark, and Angel Reese is still going after Caitlin Clark in the aftermath.
Everyone in the arena had to know this foul was coming. As soon as you saw Angel Reese wide open, you knew that Caitlin Clark was going to come in and take that foul.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you go first on how you feel about the play.
I felt like it was a hard foul, and we're humans. We got the fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? So your natural reaction is not to jump, but you're gonna react, especially the type of person that you are. We all know that Angel Reese is Angel Reese. She has a big personality, and that's just who she is. So if you get your arm, flip like that, yes, I am gonna get up and I'm gonna react. But after that, they gave her the flagrant 2, or they upgraded the foul call, and life moved on. I think what added fuel to the fire was the others, the people that are not actually involved in the game, having something to say. There's this guy on Twitter, I don't remember specifically his name, but he's like, oh, Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, and all of this just negative stuff that is like, pipe down. Yes, it was a hard foul, but in basketball, a lot of people be like, well, if I'm gonna foul you, I'm gonna make sure that you're not gonna it's not an and one. I'm gonna make sure you don't make the basket. And so that's what Caitlin Clark did. Yes, it was a hard foul. Yes, it was upgraded, but things like this happen all the time, if not worse, when it comes to men basketball. And it's just, it goes viral on social media and we move on to see the next game. But for some reason, when it happens in women's sports, they make everything so personal, and they are just like women can be mad and have reactions. And we are competitive people as well. It was just overblown. And the other thing that comes with that is that because Angel Reese is a Black woman, she's held to a different standard, because they were both rookies last year. And the whole narrative last year was that Caitlin Clark was being attacked. Nobody liked her. Everyone was being rude to her as a rookie. Bah, 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 bah. Anytime someone fouled Caitlin, it was like a whole big deal. Even Trinity Carter, who no longer plays in the WNBA, they had a hard foul, and the front page of a local newspaper was like basically dragging Trinity Carter for fouling Caitlin Clark. And now we have this situation. The roles are reversed, and no one is coming to Angel Reese's defense. No one's like, wow, Caitlin Clark is so rude, and she didn't have, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think Caitlin Clark meant ill by that. I think people added fuel to the fire, and all the backlash that Angel Reese is getting is unnecessary.
So for me, when I saw the play, to me, I feel like in terms of like saying it was a hard foul, to me, it seemed more like a medium foul. Like I was like, okay, like shoot your free throws and go. I don't think it warranted a flagrant. I've seen worse, right? But if that's what they called it at, that's what they called it at. We already see, we have a lot of thoughts about refs and how the way that they call games, especially when it comes like to NBA, WNBA. It's like we're always gonna feel like it never was that, right? So I think to me, like I was just like, okay, like whatever, next. To your point, the others. I think the narratives, right? So when this game was being promoted and stuff like that, like people like were mentioning like, oh, this rivalry. They were both in their sophomore year of the WNBA. Just because like college was college, but now we are in a different format. We are in the WNBA. This is not a rivalry, right? I have never thought of this as a rivalry. And I think the only reason why people assume it that way is because of media mismanagement, right? Ever since the college days with this, like this and all that, like from both people, the way that everybody like took that and it spread like wildfire because of the way it was posted throughout social media, the way people would take the clip and repost it and make their own commentary and stuff like that. I think this is what's feeding the narrative into thinking that this is a rivalry. But honestly, if you look, to me, this is two competitors. They both get paid to play the game, and everybody who got something to say, y'all don't play.
Also, they play very different positions. So it's not like one-on-one type of vibe. And don't get me wrong, I feel like when you are a competitor, yeah, I know we got a backstory. So when we do play against each other, I'm definitely gonna have that extra spark. But I don't think they mean ill will by it. It's just like we're competitors. And when I see you, when I play you, I want to beat you. But that's just sports in general. Who plays sports and doesn't want to win?
Everybody.
And again, this is a perfect example of like women are held to different standards, but also race. I know people don't like to talk about race, but whenever Caitlyn does her thing and is hyping up the crowd and is doing all of this, it's like, oh, cool, great. She's such a hard, such a competitor. But when Angel Reese does anything, it's like the angry black woman trope, or oh, she's too much, or she's this, her personality. It's like, no, because Caitlyn is very outspoken and she hype up the crowd, and when she on her roll with her threes, she'll make sure that she hot from the three. So let's just keep it all leveled.
Copacetic, right?
Yeah.
And I just, to your point, like we mentioned, honestly, some of y'all need to get a life for real. Caitlyn wouldn't even give y'all $2, and y'all be out acting like this girl like is giving y'all millions the way that y'all defend her. Like sometimes you can admit that someone is wrong, even though you still like them. Like you can also admit that it's nothing and go about your day. Like sometimes a 1-2 cents is not always needed. It's not going in your piggy bank. It's not going in your gas tank. So you really didn't have to add that little bit. Okay.
Stan culture could be a little bit scary at times, but let's move on to the NBA playoffs.
Yes. So the NBA playoffs is currently happening. So we just wanted to give y'all a little recap and talk a little bit about what's been going on. So right now, the Thunder are leading the Timberwolves by 2-0, right? So that means they have won. To the people who don't know basketball, I just want to. So in the playoffs, first person to 4 wins wins the series. And right now, the Oklahoma City Thunder, are 2 games up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is interesting because the way that Anthony Edwards was talking and the way that people have been doing this narrative, like he knocked LeBron out, he knocked Curry out, like it's given like, what happened now? Like, listen, I won't lie to you and say that, oh, like I think Anthony Edwards is a funny player and stuff like that, but the when they beat the Warriors, I was like, well, Steph was out. The Warriors really don't got nobody. Like, I just feel like I didn't think Minnesota would make it that far. Now, if they do and they prove me wrong, I would love that. But I didn't think they were going to make it that far because I don't see much in Rudy Gobert. Anthony Edwards, he has a lot of off games that people don't even talk about. There's some games, like, just because he has certain moments, the boy will have 12 points.
And he's been dealing with a lot of injuries. Like, he be having to go to the
bat.
Yeah, a lot of times. And by the time he gets back, OKC's already too high up. And it's just like...
And I just think that OKC has a lot of people that they can go to for scoring.
Yeah.
So
and unlike the East, OKC was during the regular season, OKC was the number one team in the Western Conference. And just because, the East, things didn't go as people thought it would because of the regular season, the West Coast is a different thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, OKC was the number one team for a reason. They have a lot of weapons. They have scoring. They have length. They have it all.
Right. Now, the next we're going to talk about is my Knicks, right? Go New York, go, right? This game 1 stressed me out. I almost pulled out my sewing. Yes. So the Knicks, similar to how they played against the Boston Celtics, the Boston Celtics, they had a 20-point lead and then they blew it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Literally happened to my Knicks. I could not believe it, to the point where it was like, I want to say a few seconds left in the game of the fourth quarter. Tyrese Halliburton makes a 3. It bounces off the rim. So we think it's over and the ball drops into the net. Me and my sister looked at each other. I couldn't believe it. I was stunned. I could not believe it. And then they go into overtime. There was a goaltending call that was missed, but okay, we miss some, we lose some, we win some, right? Nobody on the Knicks was literally doing anything that could put them in the position to win. Jalen Brunson cannot be the only player. Yes, I know he's Mr. Clutch, but sometimes he needs somebody to help him and be a crutch, okay? You cannot just allow him to be the only person who is scoring. Cat, listen, you did really good in game 1, but all this flailing, doing all this, doing all that, let's lock in, okay? I need you to lock in. I need you to be aggressive. I need you to be score dominant. Your defense sucks, though. The amount of times they would do switches with you specifically so that they could score on you, I could not believe it. At one point, I'm like, put Mitchell Robinson in, please. Please. And it's like, I don't understand, like, why you don't put Mitchell Robinson and Cat on the same on the court at the same time, because Mitchell Robinson, he guards the paint way better than Cat does, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like the amount of times they running around Cat and making it to get into the like the paint and they score. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Girl, listen, the Pacers are a sneaky team. When they're clicking, they are clicking, and no lead is safe. I don't care if you up 20, 30, baby, until the clock hits 0. I need you to be on go. This the playoffs. We cannot take our foot off the gas. And as a Boston Celtics fan, this is the best time to watch sports when you're rooting for no team. This is the best, because I could watch and I'm just chill, relaxing, just here for the vibes. The best way to watch the sport.
When I tell you, the someone was almost on the bed. I was about to snatch. I couldn't believe it.
So, question for you.
Yes.
Do you think that they need to win game 2?
They need to win.
Is it a must-win type of game?
Yes. This is a must-win type of game, because you already see how the momentum shifted when the Knicks were versing Boston and they were 2-0. 2-0, right? So I think the Knicks definitely need to lock in and win this game. And when they do go to Indiana, they need to win one of those away games as well, because that is going to dictate a lot. Because if a team has all that momentum of winning on the road and you bring it back home, I think there's a big shift, right? So like, my Knicks need to do something. I am stressed. They play again today at 8 o'clock. I'm stressed, but go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go.
Well, there you go. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching this episode. We hope you guys enjoy it. And make sure you leave a comment. This episode, we want you to comment down below. leave a music signal for me in honor of Beyonce or a mic.
Yes.
Beyonce, because she did that. Her big one. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. We are Too Much SB on all social platforms.
I just want to say, comment a blue heart, because blue, let me tell you, Blue Ivy, that walk was filthy. I loved it. Every second. Okay.
Yeah, she's doing her big one. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next Friday.
Bye, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching.